हेलो बच्चों, गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। बच्चों, इस वीडियो में हम लोग लर्न करेंगे सेमीकंडक्टर के फीचर्स के बारे में, प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर के बारे में। पिछले वीडियो में हमने लर्न किया कि कैसे हम कंडक्टर, सेमीकंडक्टर और इंसुलेटर को एक दूसरे से कंपेयर कर रहे थे। तो जो भी पॉइंट्स हमने लास्ट वीडियो में लर्न किया है उसे हम लोग यहाँ पर लिस्ट आउट करने जा रहे हैं। सो लेट अस राइट डाउन सम प्रॉपर्टीज और सम फीचर्स ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर। सो सम फीचर्स ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर। बच्चों, हमने ऑब्जर्व किया कि सेमीकंडक्टर की जो रेजिस्टिविटी होती है कंपैरेटिव टू कंडक्टर या वी कैन से मेटल ज्यादा होती है। सो वी कैन राइट सेमीकंडक्टर हैव और सेमीकंडक्टर्स हैव हायर वैल्यू ऑफ resistivity, higher value of resistivity rho, but this resistivity is less than the resistivity of insulator. Yes or no? So second point, from here only we can write, you see, if resistivity is high, then what about resistance? Resistance is equal to rho into L by A. So for a given length and area of cross section, if resistivity is high, then what about resistance? Resistance will also be high if L and A are constant. Second point we are writing, suppose if we increase the temperature, then what will be the effect on the resistivity and resistance of a semiconductor? So we are observing that semiconductor is having negative value of temperature coefficient of resistance. I have discussed this concept, this point in current electricity. Let it be. So we are writing the temperature coefficient of resistivity, the temperature coefficient of resistivity is high. The temperature coefficient of resistivity is negative, not high, negative, that is alpha is less than 0. We represent temperature coefficient of resistivity by the symbol alpha, and this is less than 0. This means that it means that if we increase the temperature, if temperature is increased, if we increase the temperature, then what will happen? Resistivity will decrease. If we increase the temperature, if there is negative value of temperature coefficient of resistance, so in that case, for any material, if the alpha for any material, if alpha is less than 0, and if we increase the temperature, then resistivity will decrease. And if resistivity will decrease, what does it mean? R equal to rho into L by A. So if resistivity will decrease, resistance of the semiconductor will also decrease. So if we compare this property, the same property of semiconductor with conductor or maybe metal. So for metal we are knowing, for metal this is additional point, for metal we know temperature coefficient of resistivity alpha is positive. So if we increase the temperature, resistivity will increase and resistance will increase. So for metal, or we can say for conductors, if we increase the temperature, resistivity will increase, resistance will increase. But for semiconductor, if we increase the temperature, resistivity will decrease, resistance will decrease. So they are having negative value of temperature coefficient of resistance. So these 2 points are very, very important. Third point we are writing, for semiconductor, the number density of charged particles or free electrons in the given volume is low. The number density of charged particles or free charge or free electrons, we can say free electrons are low. What is that? We denote that by n. So this n is what? Number of free electrons per unit volume. Number of free electrons per unit number of free electrons per unit volume. So this is less. So this is less or low. So these are the properties of some features of semiconductor that we have discussed in this video. So in the next video we will discuss classification of semiconductor, maybe on the basis of purity, or maybe there are two types of semiconductor. One is elemental semiconductor, one is compound semiconductor. So maybe on the basis of purity, pure semiconductor, that is also known as intrinsic semiconductor, and impure semiconductor, that is also known as extrinsic semiconductor. So in this video this much only. So we will learn next new concepts in next video. Thank you.